At this time, we're going to hear from Senator Garba Musa Maidoki, Federal Senate of Nigeria, as he presents his remarks. Senator, sir.
The President, Your Excellency, Honorable Ministers of the Zambian government, invited guests, I stand on existing protocols. I still want to recognize the presence of the Zamfara State Governor, who is here with us today, and the Honorable Minister of Education in Nigeria. We have a lot of technocrats that are with us today from Nigeria to show solidarity with the government and people of Zambia, to compare notes, to learn from what you have achieved, what we can do together and do it collaboratively. It has already been like a universal truth that we cannot move forward without digitizing ICT in the continent. The continent has an opportunity. The Industrial Revolution was done purely by Europeans, and now we have an opportunity to have a technological revolution for Africans. The software industry, where our young populations and young minds can invest their intellectual and bring out creative solutions that will considerably bring in the much needed income for the government and people of Africa. Just briefly, as a legislator in Nigeria, we start with the premise of good laws that guarantees investment are safe and return on investment are guaranteed, so that whoever brings in his own resources or intellectual property is protected by the laws of the land, and this guarantees creativity. And we also want to ensure strong judiciary where disagreement or disputes are resolved within the premise of the law, that are respected by both indigenes, the people of the country, the government, and those who are investing in government. We have a lot of initiatives, but just to start with Nigerian fintechs, I'm not an ICT expert, but as a lawmaker, it is my job to make sure that the system works. In Nigeria, we had about 250 fintech companies, and all of us, probably in Africa and the world, knows Nigeria as oil and gas country. But in 2023, the ICT has contributed more to Nigeria's GDP than the oil and gas in Nigeria. So this is the way forward for us. Some 10 years back, nobody will ever imagine that the oil sector will not be the #1 contributor to Nigerian GDP. But in 2023, it is not. ICT is leading. We have made significant incursion into the fintech and funding for fintechs in Africa by Nigerian companies. Out of the $1.4 billion that was invested in fintechs in Africa, Nigeria attracted $800 million. According to the former communications executive, the ICT in Nigeria has contributed 2.5 million jobs in the country, and it has added about $500 billion to our GDP. So these strategic steps that allow us, we might not be able to fund all the infrastructures, but with the collaborations of governments and private sector, our young minds in Nigeria are able to cash in and develop creative solutions that attract funding from all over the globe. This is so with South Africa and some other countries here in Africa. Our young people will have the opportunity today to create wealth for the country. We will no longer be seen as a burden, but as a resource that can be properly harnessed to increase our living standard. The government has to provide the enabling environment, and this we urge all African governments to provide those environments to enable business to strive. Once we are able to achieve this, the technology effect that affects all of us, we estimated in Nigeria that the ICT has impacted for more than 90% of our GDP, one way or the other. I've gone around the pavilion with His Excellency, the President, to see what some of these booths were offering. We've interacted with so many ministers. They've told us the progress of Zambia, starting from the Ministry of Interior, and we think that is the foundation for the digital economy start from the Ministry of Interior, where every citizen is captured and his data is secured and can be accessed all over the globe. I'm happy to say I came into Zambia and South Africa. Today I didn't fill any form that we usually fill at the airport to make sure we are coming in or going out. My passport was scanned, and all my vital details were displayed, and my access was seen by everybody, and we were granted access. So these are the type of collaboration we need all over the globe, where data and information can be exchanged between countries, between governments, between companies, so that business can be done seamlessly. On our part in the Nigerian legislation, we have actually done some few things. We have came up with so many legislations to ensure that people have confidence in the system, and investors also have confidence that their investment is secured. We have a couple of other initiatives that are stand alone in managing our digital ecosystem. The issue of integration of the stand-alone system will come a long way so that they will be talking to each other. It also removes the risk, the high risk of concentrating all the ecosystem on one block. So in Nigeria, we made deliberate choice to do sectorial implementation, even though they interconnect, and whenever we have challenge, it's only that area that is affected that the challenge is manifested. Other areas can still be accessed and will be up and running before the system is brought back to active. We want to assure the people of Zambia and the people of Africa that Nigeria is willing to collaborate with further African countries. I've seen a lot of some fintech companies from Nigeria that are exploring opportunities and collaborations here in Zambia, and we encourage them to do so and continue in this manner. We are Pan-Africanists. We see Africa as one family, and rightfully so. Wherever we go outside Africa, we refer to ourselves as Africans. We don't refer to ourselves as Nigerians or as Zambians. So wherever we are, we call ourselves Africans. And that spirit of Africanization, Africanism, should be entrenched in all our digital transformation. And I believe there are opportunities. Once the African leaders are focused on digitalization, the amount of resources that will be available to us are limitless. Gone are the days when we are only known to be producing raw materials. The raw materials are there, yes, but today our number one raw material, which we hope in the next 10 years, will be softwares and solutions that are generated from Africa to the benefit of all of us. This is the assurance I came to deliver to you and to open our arms for every fintech that has solutions and want to operate in Nigeria. Our environment is robust, is free, is welcoming. We encourage competition, healthy competition. Healthy competition is what results to the drop in prices of ICT hardware. As you can see, the prices of hardware all over the world has fallen down because of the penetration of the ICT. They are making more profit by giving the product to more people with little margin. All the same, they are still making profit. We are making more out of it because governments are now much easier to access. We are easier to reach our constituencies and deliver service to our people. We know who has gotten and who has not gotten. Before now, it is an arduous task for you to be able to differentiate who benefited from government services and who does not benefit. And this also reduces the chances of manipulations in the system by private interest, because the digital ecosystem has made it clear and is auditable. Whoever accesses that system at what time can be audited and can be seen. It's visible. And this is the way we hope our people will buy this idea right from the rural areas, so that everything we do in Africa is transparently done and is visible to everybody. And the KPIs that we set for ourselves, we are monitoring them daily and can be seen on a dashboard. Thank you very much. I wish you this session a very fruitful deliberation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Senator.